This year, the final stop of the Hillsborough Tour d'Elegance took us to another exclusive destination that was on par or even surpassing the private collections that we've been to in the past. After hearing many stories about Raffi and the cars at the Pit Stop Automotive, I was excited to finally see the inner workings of a shop that completed many award-winning restoration projects, including at Pebble Beach Concours, the Hillsborough Concours d'Elegance, and the Cavallino Classic. Arriving at the Pit Stop Automotive, as the shop is called, was a lesson in not judging a book by its cover. It's housed in a fairly nondescript warehouse and neighbored by moving companies, tow truck headquarters, and food distributors. But tucked away here are some very, very special cars. This place traces its roots back to Lebanon, where Raffi's father opened a garage and taught himself how to repair cars. Now, back then, most new parts were unavailable, so everything had to be repaired, saved, reused, or replicated. In 1967, the family moved to Boston, where they opened another garage, and that's where Raffi started working with his father after school. Eventually, Raffi moved to the San Francisco Bay Area, and in 1990, he opened the Pit Stop Automotive. Since then, you could say things have really taken off, working on some of the most exclusive and valuable vintage cars in the world. So let's take a look at what's inside. Alright, I'll probably get some of these wrong, so correct me in the comments, but we've got a BMW E9 here, a Toyota 2000 GT, and a Porsche 356 Convertible D. 1 year older and a lot nicer than mine. Next, we have what I believe to be a 1957 Ferrari 500 TRC. The TR stands for Testarossa, but this isn't the Testarossa of the 1980s. The name refers to their red-topped cylinder heads, and this model was introduced in 1956 as a replacement for the 500 Mondial. It was supposed to be entered at Le Mans, but they changed the rules with this new Appendix C, and that's how it got the C in the TRC. These rules required a windshield and a passenger door. There were only 19 Ferrari 500 TRCs ever created. Most people associate the V12 with Ferrari, but this is actually a 4-cylinder, the number 500 being the displacement of a single cylinder. The 4-cylinder engine was capable of producing about 190 horsepower and a top speed of just over 160 miles per hour. Check out the meticulous parts organization and the weights on the pistons for this engine rebuild. Now, I'm not sure what year this one is, but I believe it is a Maserati 300S, also obviously in for an engine rebuild or some engine work. Now, these cars are also pretty rare. Apparently, between 1955 and 1959, they built 26 of the 300S models. Alright, just past the Ferrari was this vintage Bugatti. Now, I am not really up on my Bugatti history, so I don't know what model this is, but you can see it has wood paneling inside the doors, which is absolutely incredible. Mechanically, Bugattis were pretty interesting. This is something I've never seen before. Now, these are ignition coils, and they are made of glass and filled with an oil. Also, Bugatti engines were machined flat, so they needed no gaskets. I've been lucky to see a few Alfa Romeo 6Cs in the past, but none that had a body like this. I couldn't find too much about this particular body, but I know all Alfa Romeo 6Cs were custom bodied, so a lot of them look different. I did find one video online of another car matching this body. It's hard to tell in the video, but this thing was massive, and just its presence was so menacing, but I thought it was beautiful. Okay, this is quite a special car, the Ferrari 250 California Spider long wheelbase. Yes, basically the same car that was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but in black. This is a covered headlight model, and from what I could tell, it is absolutely perfectly restored. Probably worth between $5 and $10 million. Maybe more? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I believe this is a Fiat 8V with a Zagato body. When you have a shop like this, you definitely need a supply of hose clamps. Okay, this old race car, I have no idea what it is, so please let me know. It does have a ton of vintage racing entry stickers on the little front cowl, and it has these massive finned drum brakes that just look amazing. Notice the writing in Sharpie on this Ferrari 330 GTS. This one, I believe, is a Lancia Aurelia. Here's just a bare chassis, but it must be pretty special because it was in its own little, like, clean room. Alright, so moving next door to another warehouse, there are a bunch of cars that are in storage and not being worked on. One example is this beautifully patinaed 1960 Alfa Romeo Giulietta Sprint Zagato. This was also at the Hillsborough Concours the next day. There were also a whole bunch of these Seata automobiles, which I really don't know anything about, but they certainly were beautiful. I really liked the hand-painted looking numbers on this particular car, which was just like a really cool touch. This one is a 1952 Seata Berlina prototype. Another beautiful, beautiful looking car. And we've got another Fiat 8V or Otto-vu, and right behind that we've got a really immaculate, absolutely perfect Lamborghini 400 GT. I really like this car, but there is another Lamborghini four-seater that I like better, and that is the Islero, which is a little bit boxier, and the Islero is really, really cool. But this 400 GT is pretty nice as well. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this view inside the Pit Stop Automotive. Thanks for watching.
See ya.